Hello my crafty friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about paper ruffles. I know they are quite addictive to make. Everybody comments that they are, and I've made my fair share. And I've been asked a couple of times, what do I do with the paper ruffles once I've made them? So I thought I'd make a quick video with some ideas on how you can use your paper ruffles. These ideas are by no means the only ways you can use paper ruffles. They're just the ways that I've thought of quickly that we could do and I could show you, just to give you some ideas. If you have your own ideas, which I'm sure you will, please pop them in the comments so we can share with one another about the amazing use of paper ruffles. So I don't have a video on how to make them, but there are plenty on YouTube at the moment. If you just go into YouTube and search paper ruffles, there are some lovely ladies sharing how they've actually made these. So I've just made some for today as well, just for this video. These are just using pages from an old encyclopedia. They're just plain. They're just with one color or one style of paper. Then I've made some with the text and some pink in the middle where it's slightly thinner, floral one, and a plain one just with the cut-offs from coffee stained paper. And then I've made some larger ones for today's project. I've got a wide one like this with bright colors, a medium sized one, and then one that I've done with black and white. And the top part of this is actually just tissue paper. And what I like about the tissue paper is, as you're pushing it under the sewing machine to make it, you can scrunch it up so it goes very uneven, which is what I really like. And I've actually used that before when I've just used this tissue paper, which is from a dress pattern, and I just like how uneven it becomes and bunchy. I just sort of make a strip and just push it under the sewing machine foot, and it comes out like this. So just to start, let's see where we're going to start. So I'll start with the basics, and what I'll do is I'll add some into this journal that I've made. It's a journal that I made to use for myself. I haven't started yet. I've printed out some photos and I need to get started. That is on my to-do list. If you'd like to see how I made this journal, I have a process video which I'll link in the description of this video. It's sort of it's high speed, so it's not drawn out, but I explain the steps that I do to make my junk journal. So we'll use this for some of them, and then I have some other ready items that I've used paper ruffles for, and I'll share those with you. So first and foremost, I think we can use them as on page edges, just to brighten up the pages of our journals. And the nice thing about ruffles is that you can make them to coordinate your project, and it just adds a little bit more dimension. And if you're like me, I like my junk journals to be quite chunky and with things sort of falling out the side, so it gives it quite a lot of mass, or I'm not quite sure what the right word is, just chunkiness really. So for this, I'm just going to use, it doesn't really matter, I've got all different colors here. As I said, this is meant for the journaling of my photos, so I've just got all random papers in here. So maybe we'll just start with just this one should be fine. So maybe I'll use something that's maybe more contrasting, so I'll use the green. So what we'll do is we'll just measure a piece. You can always snip it to size and then just trim it later if it's slightly over. I don't mind if it hangs sort of out of the book, as I do like, as I said, things just sticking out everywhere. Now there's multiple ways you can stick this in. I wouldn't really suggest like a glue stick, as I'm not quite sure that would hold over time, especially if you're going to use a journal and be paging in and out. You could stitch it with the machine, which is what I normally like to do, but this book has already been bound, so I won't be able to put it under the sewing machine. You could either staple it, or you could use a hot glue gun. For this one, I'm going to use my hot glue gun, but you could very, very easily staple it, and I'll show you that in another section. So you just put some hot glue all the way down. It's pretty cold in Melbourne tonight. I'm working in my little craft room, and sometimes if it's too cold, the glue actually becomes hard before I manage to stick it to my project. let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. I'm actually working with a hot water bottle on my lap because it's absolutely freezing in here, and I'm very scared to put any kind of heating because I have so much paper and crap in here. It's a bit of a fire hazard. So there we go. So we'll just stick that down, just trim a little bit. I'm going to leave some of it sticking out like that, and there you have a pretty paper edge. I don't mind that the color is contrasting. Like I said, I love the bright colors, but you could make it matching your project. Besides the side, you could also put it on the top or the bottom of your page. So maybe we'll use a floral one. Oh, the floral one will actually go here. So we'll just do a floral one for here. Oh, I want a piece with the bright, with the pink. So I might cut that section like that. Now for this one, I'm just going to actually staple it, which should also work. I don't have the best stapler in the world, I will be honest. I do need to get a new one, but it'll work for now. So we're just going to, I need a few, I might just put 4. Oops. I'll just do it this way. See, it doesn't actually close the staple really well. That's my stapler. That's the problem, but that's okay. And then we're going to trim this piece. Now the little end is sticking up a little bit, so we could put a little bit of glue, or you can actually also put double-sided tape, and I might just do that just for that little section, or I might just actually pop just a dollop of glue just for that little edge piece. And there you go, it's at the top. You could do the same at the bottom of your page, and it doesn't matter if the staples show. You could cover them with one on the other side or with an embellishment or something. So that's the page edges. Next, we could also use it on the actual cover of our journal. We could put just some decoration. We could add little pieces to that. I'll just show you one that I actually have done. This is a journal that I have finished for one of my design team projects, and you can see I've actually put some of the tissue paper ruffle on the edge of this little pocket and at the top here, just to add a little bit more dimension. So you could use it as part of the design of the cover of your journal. We could also use it for page tabs. I do love making page tabs in my journals. So normally I would make them with really thick ribbon or even paper, but I think a paper ruffle, maybe one of the wider ones, would look quite nice. So we'll just find another random page. These normally when I do them with ribbon, I just staple them in, but we can do with a staple and maybe with a glue gun. So we could, oh, I think that would work. So you leave it to stick out a little bit as it's a page tab. We'll cut it about here. You could fold it over like that, or you could use it, I had the idea of using it just like that. So we'll just put a bit of glue and stick that. What I like about the hot glue, it obviously dries almost instantly, because I really don't like waiting for glue to dry. I'm a little bit impatient. And there you have your tabs. And you can make multiple ones. I'll make more as I go through the book and add. Next we could do some belly bands. So belly bands are a great way of holding any ephemera or letters or envelopes or anything. So we could do a belly band. Now what I did for the belly bands, I made quite a thick one that I was going to use. So we can add that, oh, we can actually add that one right here. So I'm going to put it in the middle. You could put it either obviously this way or this way, whichever way you like. I'm just going to do it this way. And for this, you'll just do the top and the bottom. I'm just going to leave some of the string. I do like those hanging out too. I'm just wondering, this page might be a little thin. This is just normal copy paper. I might find a thicker cardstock, so maybe I'll use the cardstock. I quite like that the colors are clashing, but that's just me. So I'm just going to staple this one. I might give this one, just get that straight. And then you want it quite straight and sort of not tight, but firm, so it can hold your ephemera. So I might just turn it this way. Oh, there's those silly staples. Note to yourself, get the new stapler. So we're just going to put that and I might just trim this one. There we go. And then the belly band, sorry, this is a bit silly now with his staples. You could put your little notes or whatever you're putting in there like that. And then, like I said, you could also do it horizontally. So that's our belly bands. What else do we have on the list? I've spoken about pocket decor. So we sort of, I said about the cover, but you can also do it as part of a pocket. I don't have any pockets in this book to do just yet, but I do have little pockets here that I've decorated. These are little altered playing cards that I've made with little vellum pockets, which I've added a small little piece of the ruffle there. If you'd like to see how I've made these, I do have a video for these as well, a process video, and I'll put the link of this in the description of this video too. So the little pockets you could do too, which is another very fun way just to add some dimension to your project. What else could we do? I've got here embellishments. You can use them and make your own embellishments. I've made these embellishments. They're sort of like rather large clusters that you can use to decorate your pages. And you can see here that I've used a piece of the ruffle inside here just to give it some 3D-ness, if that's a word. For these also, I have a tutorial on how to make these. They're very, very easy to make, and they're a good way to use up your scraps and little bits and bobs, little odd things that you might not be able to use in any other project. So we have these. They're really cute and fun to make. I'll put the video of these as well so you could see, maybe make some for your projects. It's also a nice way to make some and actually send them out as happy mail to somebody as they can use in their projects. And then we could also do some index card tabs. So we would just use either these cards or a tag and put some, like a little tab top, sort of like I did for the page. So we can just use, let's just see, maybe I'll just use some of this plain one. You can sort of just put it at the top like an index card would be. There's no right and wrong, obviously, with this. It's whatever you like. I'm just giving you some of my ideas. There's no way by means the right way to do it. You could do it any way you like. Little index card. We can make one with a bit of color. Maybe I'll make a pink one. Oh, actually, I like... Where was that black one? Maybe that's a little bit thick. No, that should be fine. We'll just cut a piece. We add that, put it on the side. there you go, little index cards. You can add into your pockets. You could obviously coffee stain or tea stain these, stamp them, or you could just leave them plain and use them for journaling. I'll probably use them in this, so I'll pop them in there so I don't forget. You could also use the ruffles on the spine of your journal. You could just stick it down just to decorate it further if you don't want maybe the strings showing. You could make a really wide one that is wide enough for it to cover the whole spine, or you could make multiple strips like we have here and just put multiples going down, which I think will also add some nice chunkiness to the journal. So you could do it also for the spine. You could also do a frame, like frame an image or something inside your journal. If, for example, you had a picture here or something that you wanted to show, maybe it's a photo or a piece of journaling or a piece of art or something, and you could just stick this all the way around and frame that piece, which I think would also look really nice. Just something like that. You could stick that down and just frame it like that too. Something like that. Now, how many is that? I think I have covered everything, but what I did want to show you is how I do the tag tops, the tag tops as well, which are similar to the index cards. So if you have some tags or maybe a journaling card that you're going to use, it's a very similar process. I'll use some pink for the pink one because I do like that color. Do it this way, maybe this way, and we just fold it over the top, and obviously you leave it hanging over like that, so it's like a tab top. Just press that, and these ones are just a staple. It's really, really easy, just one staple and they're good to go. And let's do this one. This one will maybe use some of the green. So if you don't want to decorate your tags, if you just put that on top, they're not so plain anymore. You do the same with this. It's just a little journaling card. It's from the, I think, the Project Life series. I have multiple of these, and I like to just pop them in as journaling cards. And you could add something there too. Where we'll put this one that's got the paper's like, looks like glitter. So you can just pop it like that as well. And then something else I wanted to share with you. Oh, there I've done another little one. You can see with a little tab. This is from another of my altered playing cards that I've made. And then these I had done as part of a design team project. These huge, well, giant, jumbo altered playing cards. But in them I added just a piece of like a journaling card. And I added the ruffle there, going through to the back, and this one I actually just stitched on with a zigzag stitch going to the back as well. This one as well. You could also decorate an envelope. You could put it around the bottom over here or down the side in the front. Since they normally go like this inside your journal, well, in my journal, and you sometimes could pop something inside, I would probably do it around maybe just at the bottom. Let's just put a piece of maybe this. Oh, I can't like that. I do love this. So what I'll do for this one, I'll just put the hot glue onto the envelope and then pop this on top and trim it off if I can find my scissors. And that can go in your journal with a little tag. There's a little pocket or ephemera holder. You could also decorate this side. So it's a really quick video just with some ideas to help inspire. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know your thoughts and any ideas you have about ruffles. All details of this video will be in the description of the video. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'd love it if you subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you again soon. So bye for now.